Nobody expected the Buffalo Bills to come back stronger after losing their biggest star, but here they are, not just surviving the offseason, but rewriting their entire identity and doing it under the radar. While the football world debates flashy teams and headline trades, Buffalo has quietly become a ticking time bomb. And at the center of it all is Josh Allen, who just put together the most complete season of his career. The MVP is no longer carrying this team on pure talent alone. For the first time, he's surrounded by a unit that's actually built to win it all. The shocking part is this wasn't supposed to work. They let go of Stefon Diggs. They restructured the offense mid-season. They handed the playbook to Joe Brady, a guy most teams gave up on. And what happened? The Bills turned into one of the most balanced and unpredictable offenses in football. Allen threw fewer interceptions, took fewer hits, and still put up elite numbers. The system didn't just fit him, it finally protected him. And behind all the noise, the Bills front office stacked the roster with sneaky depth moves, breakout talent, and a run game that's finally real. What nobody's talking about is how dangerous that kind of transformation can be. This isn't just about Josh Allen playing great football. It's about a team that stopped chasing stars and started building a system. From the coordinator change to their receiver reset, Buffalo changed everything about how they move the ball. And that story doesn't start with the defense or Josh Allen's arm. It starts with a complete offensive overhaul that could decide who controls the AFC this year. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Bills and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 300 likes on this video. When the Buffalo Bills fired Ken Dorsey mid-season, most fans thought it was damage control. But what actually happened was the start of a full-blown transformation. Joe Brady didn't just take over the offense, he rebuilt it. Gone were the confusing play calls, the one-dimensional game plans, and the reckless reliance on Josh Allen's legs. In came balance. Structure. A rhythm that finally let Buffalo control the pace instead of constantly playing catch-up. And the biggest shift? The offense stopped being predictable. Defenses no longer knew what was coming next. Joe Brady brought in something Buffalo hadn't seen in years: calculated aggression. He leaned on 12 personnel, used tight ends to stretch formations. The offense stopped looking for hero plays and started stacking efficient drives. It wasn't flashy, but it was lethal. And it was exactly what Josh Allen needed. The curious part? This entire turnaround didn't revolve around a star receiver. It wasn't about splashy signings or record-breaking contracts. It was about scheme, design, control. And now, with a full off-season to sharpen the system, the Bills may be walking into 2025 with one of the smartest and hardest-to-read offenses in the league. But the real surprise came when they made a controversial move, letting go of their biggest offensive name. What happened next changed everything. Letting go of Stefon Diggs was the kind of move that usually signals a rebuild. But for the Buffalo Bills, it marked the beginning of something far more dangerous. Instead of collapsing without their go-to weapon, the offense unlocked a level of unpredictability it had never reached before. No more force-feeding one receiver, no more obvious reads. Defenses could no longer key in on a single threat. Every snap became a guessing game, and that's exactly what Buffalo wanted. Keon Coleman stepped up as the physical mismatch defenses couldn't ignore. Elijah Moore brought slot speed and crisp route running that opened up underneath space. Josh Palmer gave them separation and reliable hands on the outside. Even Curtis Samuel added vertical pressure and versatility as a gadget option. It wasn't about finding a new superstar, it was about having multiple threats who could each take over a game in different ways. Buffalo stopped looking for one savior and built a group that could beat you in rotation. The unexpected benefit? Josh Allen didn't have to play hero anymore. With new weapons around him, he became more efficient, more patient, and more in control. And that change didn't just help the passing game, it reshaped how the run game operated, too. But not everyone was happy about the way things were shifting, and one rising star on the roster made that crystal clear. James Cook just delivered the kind of season most running backs dream of. Over 1,000 yards on the ground, explosive bursts through the middle, and a nose for the end zone. Yet right now, he's not at practice. He's not in team meetings. He's holding out, waiting on a contract extension. And that silence is getting louder. The Bills finally found their ground game, and the centerpiece of it is suddenly on the outside looking in. If this standoff drags out, it could derail one of Buffalo's biggest defensive strengths heading into 2025. This isn't just about numbers. Cook gave Buffalo something they hadn't had in years: balance. He kept defenses honest. He gave Joe Brady flexibility. And more importantly, He took pressure off Josh Allen in critical moments. The problem now is timing. With Camp around the corner, every missed rep creates a gap that can't be easily filled. Backups like Ray Davis and Ty Johnson are serviceable, but they don't offer the explosiveness or vision Cook brings to the table. What's at stake here isn't just Cook's future, it's Buffalo's identity. The offense worked last year because it was layered, balanced, and cohesive. If Cook's absence stretches too far, the ripple effects could hit everything from play-action setups to red zone efficiency, and the clock is ticking. While one part of the offense waits for answers, another group has quietly become the foundation of Buffalo's entire strategy. Every great offense starts in the trenches, and Buffalo's front five might be the most overlooked powerhouse in the league. While highlight reels focus on touchdowns and deep passes, this offensive line has quietly become the anchor of everything the Bills do well. They're not just holding blocks, they're dictating terms, and their chemistry has reached the point where blitzes get neutralized before they even develop. That kind of unity doesn't show up in stat sheets, but it wins games. Spencer Brown has gone from a developmental project to one of the most reliable right tackles in the AFC. His footwork, timing, and strength make him a nightmare for edge rushers. On the opposite side, Dion Dawkins continues to prove he's one of the smartest left tackles in football. His ability to mirror elite defenders has protected Josh Allen's blind side through critical moments. And the interior? Steady, clean, and rarely penalized. That's the kind of consistency quarterbacks dream about. This unit didn't just open holes for the run game. It gave Joe Brady the confidence to expand the offense without worrying about breakdowns. Play action looks sharper, deep routes have time to develop, and Josh Allen finally gets to play from a clean pocket instead of scrambling for survival. But while the offensive line is doing their job quietly, there's another part of the team that's ready to speak loudly this season. The side of the ball that's been blamed for playoff exits far too many times. Buffalo's defense has taken its fair share of heat over the years, but what most fans missed is how aggressively they've rebuilt it from the inside out. This isn't the same aging unit that ran out of gas in the postseason. It's younger, faster, and far more dangerous up front. The pass rush has been completely restructured with emerging playmakers and explosive rookies who are ready to contribute now. What used to be a liability is quickly turning into one of the Bills' biggest assets. Greg Rousseau led the charge last season with relentless pressure and smart edge containment. A.J. Epinesa brought versatility, able to rotate between roles without sacrificing production. Add in rookie Landon Jackson, a physical beast with size and quickness, and now Buffalo can rotate their front with fresh legs and real depth. On the inside, Ed Oliver remains the anchor, but he's finally getting help. Second-round pick T.J. Sanders is built to absorb double teams and collapse the pocket from the interior. Buffalo's defense may be getting younger, but it's the veterans who keep it grounded and reliable. Players like Matt Milano bring elite instincts and leadership that never wavers, even through injuries. In the secondary, Christian Benford and Taylor Rapp quietly anchored the unit with smart, physical play, while Damar Hamlin's emotional return has added heart and intensity. Together, this experienced core ensures the defense stays sharp and disciplined through every challenge. But for all their stability and depth, the true test lies ahead, whether they can finally turn it into postseason success. So here's the real question. Is this the year Buffalo finally silences the doubters and takes over the AFC, or will another season of promise end in frustration? Let me know in the comments. Do you believe this Bills team is built for a title run? And if you're riding with Josh Allen this season, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. Because something big is coming in Buffalo, and we're going to follow it every step of the way.